Hi, I'm Richie Marie Charnley. I'm a 4th Dan black belt with HK Martial Arts. We're based in Melbourne, Australia. I'm here today with Kiyoshi Matt, and we're going to go through some self-defense grabs and different ways of getting out of some grabs from front and also behind. Before we start with the grabs, just talk a little bit about some of the important principles to remember. So 2 things we're really going to focus on today is circular movement and also the importance of joint manipulation. Those 2 things can be really beneficial, particularly when you're trying to get out of grabs against someone who's a lot stronger than you. So we'll start with the first grab. So the first grab is going to be a throat on grab. So as Kiyoshi grabs me around the throat, all I'm going to do is bring one arm up, and it's just going to be a simple elbow coming across. From here, I can then elbow back. If running's an option, we want to run. Running's always the best form of self-defense when it's an option. So if I do that just here for the movement, all I'm doing is coming across and then elbowing back. So if we do it one more time, as Kiyoshi grabs me, we go 1, 2, and run. Obviously, the harder you get grabbed, the faster you have to do it. So now for the last time, if he grabs me really hard, 1, 2, and run. The next grab we're going to look at is the double shoulder grab. So he might be dragging me towards him to pull me away. So as I step in, one hand is either going to grab the side of him or ideally the small of his back. The other hand comes up close to my chest, and as I pull his lower back in, I palm heel under the chin, just like this. And if I did it faster or keep pushing, he will eventually let go to save himself as he falls. So if we do it again, he pulls me in towards him, I go with it. My right hand comes up under the chin and palm heels back until he's about to lose balance. Obviously, in a real life situation, you'd need to do that a little bit faster. The next one we're going to look at is the double wrist grab. So he's grabbing me to, again, possibly pull me towards him or drag me away. I'm going to take a step, so I've got some balance. Then I'm going to use my circles with my hands. So I'm going to go out for a bit of momentum, and as I come in, I'm going to try and grab under his hand. So it's important to grab the hand and not the wrist, and then turn. I then have this free hand to fold the knuckles back, and I can get him to go down by focusing on that wrist joint. So we do that again. I step in, I flick my hands out. Now he's likely going to pull them in to try and stop me from pulling away, and I'm going to go with that momentum, twist, and fold down on a 45 degree, like this. The next one we're going to look at is a side on grab. So again, he's come up from the side, trying to drag me this way. The circular movement really comes into play here, so I need to use my feet in a circular motion, and also my arm is going to swing in a circular motion. So as I step around, I'm going to swing my arm up. And you can already see we've started to get a twist on the wrist here. I have a free hand, so with this free hand I can aim straight at the elbow joint and pushing it downwards on a 45 degree angle. Once you've got to this point, we can be really striking hard to try and dislocate the arm. Other options from here. As he grabs me, I come around in a circular motion. I have a free hand. So if the elbow joint's here, so it's harder for me to get to, this free hand can be striking into the face, scratching, slapping to the side of the head to ideally burst an eardrum, palm heeling under the chin. I also have my feet are free. Always remember your feet are often going to be free. I can be kicking into the shin. If I'm close enough, stomping on the foot or kneeing into the groin. These are all different options. So one more time as we get grabbed, we come around, palm heeling, kneeing, striking, kicking are all different options. Now we'll look at some from behind. So the shoulder grab from behind. as he grabs. Again, I'm using my circles, but I'm going to be thinking about backstroke in a pull. So as I take a step back, my arm comes up, and then I'm going to circle around and wrap around. Now I've got his elbow just here. The palm heel again, we're going to palm heel straight into that elbow joint, aiming to dislocate the elbow. So again, I'll step back, and then I'll let my feet and my whole body go around as my arm circles around. Striking to here. Other options, striking to the side of the face, scratching, which is also good because it can leave identifying marks. Using our feet, stomping, kneeing into the groin, and kicking are lots of other options we can use. The next grab from behind is going to be the hair grab. So from here, the first thing I want to do is to slightly drop my weight and put both my hands on the top of his and pushing his hand down into my head. The real benefit of this is it helps me actually gain some control over my neck and not get dragged back as easily. From here, I'm going to do a full circle and twirl under the arm. So as I step under, I'm twirling, and from here, I've got a good hold of his hand, so I'm just going to push it down and work on that wrist joint. So we do that again. Drop my weight, pushing my hands on top of his, circling under, and again, all I have to do, because I've got his hand twisted against his wrist, is to push down and lock that. If I happen to turn the other way, it will still work. So drop my weight, pushing down, spinning under, and this time I end up behind him. So from here you can see I've got a good handle on his hand, and all it would take is one really quick flick to break the wrist. Okay. The last one is a chokehold from behind. So he comes up behind me. We might actually just adjust. He comes up behind me. The first thing I'm going to do is grab onto his forearms. Now I'm not strong enough to actually pull his arm off, but this gives me a little bit of balance. As he drags me back, I'm going to step back with it. Then I'm going to turn just to take a little bit of pressure off here. So he's got a hold, I turn. The hand that's closest is going to come behind and grab. Now, ideally, we would want to get under the chin. But depending how strong they are, you might not get that far. You can try and grab the top of their shirt or their hair. And as we pull back, we stand up straight, and that widens the gap here. And we duck under and behind. From here we can finish off. We remember to use our feet, just stomping in the back of the knee to take them down. We then have free hands to strike and run. So we'll do that one again. Comes up, I grab a hold for balance, take a step back, turn my head for breathing space. The hand that's closest comes up, and then we pull back and under. That last move you have to do fairly quickly, so it's something that after you've practiced, you can speed it up to help it work, and then stomp in. Great. Thanks for your time today. We hope that you found some beneficial tips out of our self-defense, and always remember your circular movements and your joint manipulation are two key things to so many different ways that you can get grabbed.